My husband is making us fly home from our honeymoon after 1 day because he found out I sent my ex a simple goodbye text on the morning of our wedding. It was a goodbye text, for goodness sake. Not an I will always love you text, not a drop everything and meet me at the altar text. I needed to say goodbye to have closure on the unmarried part of my life. Please tell me, my sensitive girlies, you guys understand. Is she okay with doing this on the day of her wedding? Bye-bye, see ya, never gonna be with ya. Is that okay?
No.
Moving on. Normally I'm like, no.
Moving on.
No, you were thinking of your ex on your wedding day. And you weren't just thinking of him like, oh, you know, what could have been, one. You actioned it and sent a text message.
Right.
And you got caught. Very
It's
stupid.
not okay.
Yeah.
The only man you should be thinking about on your wedding day is the man you're marrying.
And why have you not said goodbye to that part of your life already?
Right.
Exactly.
Why are you only saying goodbye the morning of your wedding? Like,
Yeah. Surely when you started dating this new person and you got serious and then you got engaged, you should have really said goodbye at that point. Because you're no
maybe-
longer single, right? So
Yeah.
why are you waiting to the wedding day to be like, I'm not single anymore? I don't get it.
Maybe she wasn't going to get married.
Or maybe it was just like the ultimate I don't know, but
She didn't need to do
she
that.
didn't need to do
That's
it,
what
but
social
maybe she
media's
felt
for.
like maybe he hurt her so bad. I'm gonna ride for you, girl. Maybe he hurt her so bad that she was like, I don't care, I hate you. And maybe he's begged her in the sidelines, begged her so much. He's like, I will never go back to you. And he's like, you're gonna come. You know when men sometimes think that when women leave, they don't believe that they're really gone. So it's like, goodbye, because I'm gone for real, for real.
There's better
Could have
ways to
been
do
that.
that.
I
She could have
understand.
better ways.
Like, if you're saying goodbye, you don't send a text on the morning of your
Okay.
wedding. You don't, because that's going to invite a response.
Yes.
Precisely.
Do you know what I mean? So you obviously want the conversation to keep going, or
Exactly.
you want him to be thinking about you, which at the very least means that you're some sort of attention
Yes.
seeker,
Yes.
or you're insecure, or some.
Correct.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, or you're still in love with him.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm not surprised. Of
She
course,
could've-
you're going home. Of
She could
course.
have Kendricked her way out of this thing and just took it to social media. she could have, you know, done a post for the world to see after the wedding with music saying, best you never had, all that type of stuff. Maybe invited his best friend to the wedding. There's many ways that she could have done it, but to message him on that day, on the morning of her wedding, and she's getting into her wedding dress and practicing her vows.
and
Nah,
it's
that's wrong.
him that she's thinking of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's wild.
Even the post is too
I've
much.
got to say, the bigger,
Do you know what I mean?
the bigger you get, the more dramatic
You
it
don't
is.
need to do. You actually don't need to do anything
too much.
because you're not thinking about him. Because you're thinking about your beautiful new future
Right.
Yeah.
and your honeymoon. You know? Do you know what I mean?
I think I will give her if it's
You know, you're
anything
digging,
but yeah, I know.
She is.
Yeah,
Trying.
yeah,
She's trying.
Trying to get
her.
You're going.
No, it's
not
you've got a lot of work to do. You've got a lot of work to do to
not
get your
okay.
husband back on board.
okay.
Because at least you're married. Because it's going to
I
be a
mean,
long
she
thing
might
to
not
go.
be anymore.
She might not, because I'll be asking for annulment.
I'd be really.
Think about, let's flip the script. You find out that
off
your
now.
husband, on the morning of your wedding, is texting, oh,
Problem,
girl.
of course it's
Okay,
a problem.
there we
I'm
go.
not saying it's not a problem.
Yeah, but
I'm
then-
just trying to find her
It's
space.
a relationship, really.
On top
Is
of
it?
it, exactly, it has to be, because you've done that. Now you've come to social media to tell the world and try to get people on your side as well. So not only have you embarrassed me once, you now embarrassed me twice. Do you know what I mean? It's over. It's
Because
done.
actually, no one knew about it.
Exactly.
You've made people
No,
know.
but people might have. People might have.
No, they were
She's
on the
got a
honeymoon.
big mouth.
Yeah.
That's her problem.
Yeah.
I think you said she's
You know
an
what it is?
attention
She
seeker.
is.
Yeah.
She's an attention
She's attention seeking because now what she's doing by taking to social media, she's letting the ex-boy know that,
free.
there's problems in the
Yeah.
marriage.
He knows that I like you.
What?
No.
What if she wanted to get out of the wedding?
Well, she had, I mean,
Yeah.
well,
Maybe
she
it was
didn't, but she's out of the honeymoon now.
Maybe it was all. I don't know, girl. I tried, girl. I tried. Just quickly, because it is Valentine's Day coming up. Have you ever been lied to, or have you lied to get out of a Valentine's Day commitment? Because if you've seen that post on socials, also on the internet, of that guy just cruising in his car, smiling smugly, and the caption is, unfortunately, I've got to go to jail between the 13th and 15th of February.
48 hours.
Isn't that
before.
odd?
Yeah. It's old, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
it's come back up again.
Yes, I've done both.
Oh,
Right.
I've been lied to and
you
I've
have lied.
lied. Yeah.
Why did you lie?
Let's talk about the lie.
Why did I lie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I had
interesting.
more than one boyfriend.
So you chose
yeah.
one over the other.
Yes.
What was the lie? Or did you go to jail for
No. Just probably like someone was staying, like maybe my aunt was staying with me. That was my go-to.
I'm working.
No. My aunt's staying
Okay,
over, so I can't have anyone round. So sorry.
Why don't he just be like, well, let's go to a restaurant? Or
Didn't think.
No, I probably didn't have any money.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
No need to follow up.
There really
exactly,
wasn't.
yeah.
I was very believable. I mean, I still am. But I've been lied to so many times. Oh my God. It's like, I really fell for that. Like, oh, I'm on holiday. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not available, or my phone's died. That was a good, like, so many times. Like, I used to be so gullible. Be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Do you know what I mean? I'll be sorry for them. Like, and then
That's
do
the
it
part, yeah,
afterwards.
yeah. I've
Like,
never-
do the whole Valentine's
I don't think I've had a Valentine's Day lie, but definitely I've had a guy talk about being, I'm going on this, they always do, I'm doing on this health thing, so I'm not really...
To center
I'm
myself.
centre myself, I'm going to grow my beard out and I'm not going to have sex for like a whole amount of time, and then I'll be back like a few months time or something like that bullshit.
And
But
I've
I've had a Valentine's.
You've reminded me as well. I've had a couple of like, oh, it's just commercial.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
why
yeah,
you
yeah,
even why do you even like that kind of thing? I knew that you was that kind of woman. Like, you're so materialistic,
Wow.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Causing arguments.
On
just
lead up to
before,
Valentine's
do you know what I
Day.
mean?
And then on the
And then-
15th, it's all good.
Then we're cool again.
Girls
Do you know
get
what I
caught up on
mean?
the 15th.
a man
don't
will do that though. The whole I've never celebrated Valentine's.
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing that? Like, do you even know what it's about? They will do that.
It's pagan. It's
And then you'll
pagan.
start feeling bad. Like,
The funny
maybe
thing
I
is-
shouldn't want chocolates and a teddy bear.
It's usually me that says that to the man. Nah, man, I don't believe in them things, Like, it's not like, because my ex-boyfriend from years ago, he was very much like, oh yeah, I'm gonna send you flowers and all this stuff, and no, not because no. Don't be nice to me today and then tomorrow you're not nice. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I was more like, no, I've done that. Valentine's.
No, I think I've done it. Oh, when I think it was all leading up to me wanting to break up with a boyfriend, not being able to find the words. I just wasn't bothered by it, and I think I was probably the one that started the argument, where I was like, it's not as if you ever even buy me flowers. It's Valentine's Day coming up. You can't even bother to buy me flowers. Blah, 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 all that stuff. Then on Valentine's Day, like this massive, and I remember being at home. I was in the living room. My mum was like, oh, flowers have come for you. Look, you've got red roses. And she was so excited. I think I was watching telly. I went, oh yeah, that's nice. Watching the TV. Because I just did not want to be with the man in any shape or form. So him buying me flowers, it just, ugh.
Like,
This is a thing when you're icked out, you're icked out.
I think that was me. It sounds familiar. I don't like you. Don't buy me flowers.
When you're over it, you're over it. I've never really even been a fan of Valentine's, and I hate going out on Valentine's Day to restaurants. When we used to do it early days, and it's horrible. It's soulless, and you just feel like you have to be romantic. And everybody is on the same type of, we have to be romantic, and you're hearing forced conversations. And it's like, oh, this is a horrible place to be. So, yeah, no, it's not.
And then
it's not my
there's the one
speed.
person that wants to propose to their partner.
yeah.
I've never seen a proposal. I'd love
never
that.
seen
That
it.
would be dramatic. That'd be fun.
Oh, on Valentine's.
Yeah, not on Valentine's Day. I've never seen a
Mel
proposal.
London, she was at Valentine's once with her husband, and then in the background, someone was being proposed
Yeah,
to, and they said no.
Yeah.
On Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I remember that.
I feel like
And
you
she
just
was
gotta
like,
say
she was in
yes.
the restaurant like this. Oh my God.
Yeah. I think I remember
But
that.
it wasn't just her that saw it. Like loads of people saw it happen.
Also, if your girlfriend's going to say, if you're going to do it in public and you don't 100% know that your girlfriend's going to say yes, then that's on you.
It is.
100%.
But how do you know?
is.
You have to be honest with yourself and with him. You have to say no. You can't.
In the moment.
I know.
feel like embarrassment would make me not
You
be able
have
to do
to
it.
be strong and say no, because they could just be putting you in a
then what-
position. Because
Yeah, but you
that,
can say no after.
Yeah.
When you get home.
I feel shame myself even to say no,
embarrassment.
because I'd feel like everyone else is like, you rich.
Yeah.
So I think shame would make me say, okay.
Because imagine everyone in the restaurants is like, yay, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is amazing. They're so excited. And then you're like, no. And then they're like,
So,
oh,
and then what
man.
happens? Like you say no, and
Right.
then you sit back down.
Yeah.
You continue
run out,
eating.
you run out,
There's
run
one
out
run out,
dramatically.
the other one's got
no,
to pay
if
the
you go
bill,
home,
like-
yeah, you have to pay for everything. You done
my
this. You
God.
created this mess.
Why are you at dinner on Valentine's Day in a restaurant anyway?
Oh, no, you can't say no. That is so
Why
cruel.
are you in the
But
restaurant
some
on Valentine's
people
Day?
are. Some
Yeah.
people do
It's
that.
not fair.
Unless
on
it's like you've been
women
together
to
for
pressure
3
them to
months.
say yes.
Unless you've been
Some
together like for
people
3 months
do.
and you're doing the most love.
I don't
no.
think it matters how how long you've been together.
Time ain't a factor.
Like seriously, you just if it's no, you have to be like, did it get up? Don't do that. You have to see the signs. You have to.
I see
I
the
feel
signs.
like
If you
you
catch
gotta
the
be like,
signs,
nah,
sure.
I would be
it's
like,
not worth it.
I'd definitely just be like, okay. and I wouldn't
that's
say,
why public
I wouldn't
proposals-
say no.
Yeah.
It's not.
Be careful.
Yeah,
with
man,
that.
you gotta
Not
know,
for
innit?
everyone.
You gotta have the conversation before
Yeah.
and know the person's gonna say yes to you.
Yeah.
You've got to have that. None of this, let's see what happens stuff.
Oh my God, I just remembered when we was at Trafalgar Square.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And
that,
the guy
yeah.
proposed in front of us, but we were queuing for fish and chips.
Yes. In Trafalgar Square.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Now, I think
He did it in the queue.
Yes.
she said yes because we were all there like...
Exactly. But that's out of order.
It
Do you
is.
know what I mean?
And it was a dodgy ring.
Wow.
I'm really confused as to why he's proposed in the queue for fish and chips.
What was the
Mind you, we was waiting for it was Black on the Square.
Yeah.
And we was waiting for about an hour already.
It was a very
right?
long
Do you know what I
queue.
mean? It was a long queue. Then he kind of tapped someone's shoulder. Is it Sharona's shoulder
Yeah,
or something?
yeah.
Like turn around for this, and then he got down on one knee. What the
He actually
hell?
gave everybody warning.
Yeah.
He was surrounded by black women. We're all there like, he's going to propose. And then I think all of us were like, we're queuing for fish and chips.
God.
And that ring looks crazy. And the girl's face looked like, yes, like she had to. She,
Like blink twice.
She might have been happy, but I, for one, would not be
That is
happy, and
wild.
I would be saying no, absolutely not.
No, see,
Where
I
are you
still would've
going?
said yes.
Get up. No.
still would have said yes.
I know.
No way.
I'd like to think that there's some sort of fish and chip connection in their story.
No.
Black on the Square
I
connection in
think
their
somebody
story.
actually asked him.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
He just decided
was
to do
like,
it.
He
Maybe he was
felt it was a
He was-
spiritual day, and his whole thing was it was a spiritual day, and he thought this was the best time to do it.
What was the spirituality about the
Black
day?
on the Square.
That Black on the Square.
That's okay. I would be so annoyed.
I'd be
I was
pissed,
annoyed. I was filming it and I was annoyed for her. I was so annoyed.
It's like angry filming.
I swear to God. And someone even, I can't even say who, but someone said something on the footage, so I can't use it with the sounds. Yeah. I didn't say it.
Was it Nana?
Okay.
It wasn't even you. It wasn't
No, I was genuinely like, oh, this was cute. I've seen a proposal, but this is crazy.
Yeah, it's
and I want
wild.
more for my sister. Like, with a black woman, I was like, I wanted more for you because this is bottom of the barrel. He didn't even take you to the fountains. Like, at least do something
Or
like
Lion by the
I know.
Lion.
There are so many other places in massive Trafalgar Square where
Yeah.
you have done that.
Yeah, no,
However, obviously, they may well be married and have
They could be very happy and
Very
it makes
true.
sense.
kids down and
Very
stuff.
true.
He might have been just like, I'm so nervous, I just got to do it, I just got to do it. Maybe he felt safe around you, it felt like you,
Oh,
these women
God,
are
I
nice
don't know
and warm.
why.
Wasn't there something on the internet recently, like where someone got proposed to in KFC or something like that?
I didn't see
And
that.
everyone was up in arms about it. And,
Oh,
and
I
they were like
remember.
totally happily married now. And they were, you know, she
They
was
just like
totally happy
chicken.
with the, with
Yeah,
the
See,
engagement.
some people's
That's
places,
fine
other
for
people's
them.
places. Know your past.
Know your
innit?
person.
Know your person.
Yeah.
boy.
All right. Welcome to Your Aunties Could Never, your favourite aunties on the internet. I'm Auntie AK, the auntie of all aunties, and I'm here with...
I'm Farah, your resident Caribbean queen.
I'm Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
And I'm all things sugar and shade Sade.
Hey! And we welcome the only newsreader that we trust.
Hey.
She's a loose woman, but not that kind of loose. It is Madame CHARLENE.
They think I should have come up with my auntie name, but let me work on it.
I mean, it's fine. You'll be back. You'll be welcome back. Guys, we're going to be getting into Auntie CHARLENE's business later on, so you know there's a few rules that you got to do. First of all, you got to...
Boop the like button, 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 boop the like, boop the like button.
Do it now.
Boop it now. Also, please subscribe to our membership because... And how much does it cost?
Don't worry, you'll get it right.
One day.
It's $4.99, but it's also $1.99. So it's $1.99 to be our friend, but to be family and to get our family content, it is $4.99. Still cheaper than a bag of chips.
You scared me. You went all EastEnders.
You got to
Mitchell,
bag of chips.
family.
It's going to be 40
Mitchell
years.
Brothers will be round to do you in if you don't sign up.
Get out of my
Get out of my
pub.
I
But
need
join
to
our
my
family.
subscription.
Yeah. Also, please, if you're listening on the podcast airwaves, that's via Apple or Spotify, you've got to do some things.
We want comments and also ratings. So 5 stars, and 5 stars only, please. Thanks. Yeah.
Cute.
I want to give like
No.
Go.
No.
Go. You can do it like this. What's stopping you?
Doing it.
Oh, and return to sender.
Return to sender.
Return to sender.
That's a bastard. Okay, cool.
Thank you. And also, guys, just a reminder that we are your aunties. We're not experts. We're just sharing our opinions, our thoughts, and what we think. So please do your own research, find your own facts, and leave us alone and draw your own conclusions. Thank you, please.
Please and thanks.
All right, now it's time for happy Valentine's Day and
Oh, wow. That was so sincere.
Yeah, happy
That was
Valentine's
so
Day, guys.
sincere.
And it's Black History Month for our American cousins, right?
Blackity black, black.
All day long,
black,
all
black.
day long, every day,
Black.
every day, every day.
Because I'm black.
All right.
I'm black and black.
And now it's time for Enemy of Progress, where we protect you from the madness out in the streets, the crazy people doing mad things out there. My Enemy of Progress, straight into it, is Stephen A. Smith and AKADEMIKS again. So basically, there's a certain little event that just happened on the Sunday. It was very, very good. For sports fans, the NFL, congratulations to the Eagles who won. Those of you who are Eagles fans, yay, go Philly. But for all the people who love hip hop and all the people who are fans of Kendrick Lamar, he did his halftime show. It was phenomenal. We'll get into that. But during it, we had the queen of sports, Serena. I was going to say Serena Smith, you know, Serena Williams. She popped out in a very pivotal moment and she did a little crip walk on these fools during Kendrick's set. But Stephen A. Smith had something to say. He said that he criticised her, saying, why is she trolling her ex while she's being a married mother? He said, if I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass. Clearly you don't belong with me. What are you worried about him for? You're with me. Bye-bye. Which got a lot of backlash and retort. How do you guys feel about Stephen A. Smith's comments?
He's a 57-year-old man who's never been married.
I was just about to say.
So I feel like he should shut the fuck
Has he ever
up.
had a wife?
No, he never has done. And, you know, if he carries on with comments like that, he never will do. So I feel that he's also missing the point. It's bigger than Drake. She wasn't just trolling Drake. I think that's probably a very small part of it. Very tiny part of it. It was the fact that she did the same dance in the 2016 or 12 or something like that Olympics and at Wimbledon. But it was the Olympics and she got criticised for doing so. It was like 2012 London Olympics. She got criticised for doing so, and she even said at the end of it, like when she came off of the stage, she did it harder than she's ever done it before, and if she had done that at Wimbledon she would have been fined. So it was a pivotal moment for her. It was a moment celebrating blackness and culture. It's not just about Drake, it's such a small part of it. So he just needs to sit down and shut up.
Is he on Drake's payroll or something?
I don't know. It was unnecessary comment.
It's completely unnecessary, nonsensical, and I don't particularly care. Like, look at like the giant and the amazing woman that is Serena.
Exactly.
Who even is he? Like, and what I loved is when her husband came out and just replied to him.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what? You can say what you like about Serena, but her husband has got her back 150%.
100%.
Yeah.
And do you know what he isn't? He doesn't come across to me as a man that, I don't know, gets nervous about what people are going to say because he will always back his wife. He doesn't feel small because she's big. He's there like, you know, whenever you fall, I am here for you. That's the kind of man that you need in your life. So, and their relationship, I think, is brilliant. And anyone can say anything about his wife and he will have her back. And that is brilliant.
Definitely.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, he doesn't get in her way. I really like that about him. I mean, to be fair, it might be a tiny bit, but she is a little bit of it. That's the only thing.
It is a bit.
And I feel like two things can be true at the same time, and it's okay. What's wrong with trolling your ex? There's nothing wrong with that.
But not on your wedding day.
Not on your definitely not on your wedding day.
Just want to make that clear.
Yeah,
She
didn't
just
like how you pulled that in.
Because I was hearing something like, because she's trolling her ex. I'm here for it though.
Yeah.
I'm here for every last bit. But it is like, just desserts, because Drake has made some digs at Serena. So yes, but the way Stephen's framing it is if to say he's on her mind all day, every day. No, there was a very excellent moment to get back at all the haters.
Yeah.
Why does Stephen A. Smith always have something to say about black women? All the time.
You can't get any.
Yes,
That's
thank
it,
you.
isn't
You
it?
took the words from my mouth.
Because it's always him. If there is somebody that is going to be criticised and it's a black woman, Stephen A. Smith will be, hold my beer. I am ready to give them a criticism. It's very annoying, but, you know, who cares about him anyway?
And he also said the bit about and a mother.
And a mother. Are you okay?
You a mom.
Really?
What, you can't
Really?
talk if you're a mum? Like, is that
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Do not crip walk.
Beyonce, stop now.
Don't crip walk at all. Everybody in LA who's a mother, do not crip walk because it's insinuating you're disgusting.
What did academics do?
Well, academics, he just always trying to be in the mix. Because you know he's Drake's #1 fan. He's taking credit for leaking the set list, because the set list for Kendrick's set was released 2 days before, and he decided that he admitted to sharing it, and he said, I did it because I believe that sharing it would hopefully make Kendrick change his performance by not performing like us. Academics. Come on, you're in so much hot water.
So stupid.
I'm not going to say you're insignificant because you are impactful in the culture, but you're not that big to make a whole man who's been rehearsing for how long to change his set because you leaked
his 5-time Grammy-winning
Pulitzer Prize-winning come on,
You know,
come
people
on,
just aren't involved in a situation, but are jealous of the people that are involved in a situation.
Yeah.
To ingratiate themselves into a situation.
right.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Literally.
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
That's
he
what he did.
is on allegedly Drake's payroll, isn't
Yes.
he?
Yeah.
Like he's completely on that. So yeah, I just don't. Academics just need to sit down. Like honestly, this is the second
in the bin
week
to go.
in a row. I think we've been talking about him
Yeah.
doing silly things. It's like, is he a child? Like,
Yes.
why?
Basically.
Yeah. End of discussion. Full stop.
Period.
But also, as well, are you going to talk about Madam Joyce?
You can.
Okay, so Madam Joyce. Oh, bless her.
Sweetie
Kinda.
pie. Just
So
sweetie
Madam
pie.
Joyce put out a clip from her latest episode of Cocktails and Takeaways, and I'm officially, I do like Madam Joyce.
I like
I really love Madam.
But she was talking about the Kendrick performance, and it wasn't to her taste. She didn't like it.
Now, I love Kendrick. I love the fact that being a hater can end up being a success. But this performance, I just thought it was really mediocre for me. Maybe because I'm not a hardcore Kendrick fan. There was a lot of the songs that I didn't know. I knew some of the mainstream ones. Like when SZA came, I was like, yes, twin. And the rest of them, I don't know. I thought the visuals was amazing. We had Samuel Jackson come on as Uncle Tom, and then obviously the dancers came and the American flag, and then obviously he performed They're Not Like Us. I just thought it was an okay performance. There are a lot of people on the internet who are like, oh my God, you just didn't understand. One thing I cannot stand is fake deepness. I come to watch the Super Bowl to watch a performance. I didn't come to think. I don't want to feel like I'm reading a book. So when I'm seeing, oh, but you did not understand the allegoric significance of when the dancers were wearing blue, and the blue means it signifies the sadness of the American like, I just want to dance. I don't want to watch a performance and then have to read a book.
And, you know, she may have made a mistake referring to Samuel Jackson as Uncle Tom instead of Uncle Sam, which I do think if you're not American, then that's an easy thing to make. But anyway, I digress. But she also said that, you know, she didn't really like the performance that much. Like, she likes Kendrick. She didn't really like it. And she wants to, you know, dance when there's a performance and not think. And people have lost their minds. Absolutely lost their minds. For her saying that thing, like, I don't want to think and watch a performance. Oh my God, you would think that civilization, or maybe in the States it is.
I mean,
it's
to be fair, it's a sensitive time.
Seriously. But she was just like, no, I don't want to think and stuff. But they're running with it. And it's like the comments upon comments, like she's getting it at the moment. And I kind of feel sorry for her. Because to be fair, if it was any other time, this wouldn't be seen as such a big thing. Like, her kind of brand is like city girl-ish. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's there for a good time. Like, that's
not a long time.
Heaven forbid though. But yeah, I really, I thought people were going in, and there's still, and this is just, it's literally just dropped today.
Yeah.
So this is just the beginning.
Gonna be a minute.
Have you guys seen the clip? What do you think?
I did see it. Go on. On the one hand, we have Zizi saying she wonders about people that didn't get it. you know, because it's more than the music, it's more than Drake, it's more than, it's a protest moment, you know. You have to look at it from start to finish and all the messaging that's in it. Kendrick is never going to be the person who swings from a rope and starts gyrating his bum. He's not going to do that. Like, did anyone actually? But come on, did
He's a vision of it.
Absolutely. He's not.
He's not
On so many levels, he's not. Yeah.
Like, if you look at the Super Bowl performances and you heard that Kendrick's coming, that's not what I expected to see.
No.
What I saw is what I expected to see. It surprised me in how deep it was and how he executed it, but I did expect him to give us messaging. I expected it to be a visual delight. That's what I expected of Kendrick. He's not out here trying to play. Are you not listening to his music? He's not out here trying to play.
But it's the people who
party.
aren't listening to the music that are coming
know.
to the performance. And the reality is hip hop is what the leading music genre in the world. So Apple chose that for a reason, because they're drawing in the younger audiences. And what everyone forgets is that people assume that the younger audiences are gravitating naturally towards TV at big moments. They're not. And the facts and figures show that. So they choose Kendrick to do it, and all the people that didn't get it, it wasn't for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it wasn't directed towards you. This is for a reason. They want to draw in those people and be like, the NFL is cool. We know what we're doing. We understand what makes money. We know what you like. So we're giving you Kendrick. If you didn't get it, that's okay. But not everything is for you.
Not everything is for you.
Yes, and she didn't have to comment on it. She sounded very ignorant. She called him a hater.
Yeah,
And it was like, Madam Joyce, already you got dragged just in December. Maybe just chill out a little bit for the rest of the year. Like, just take time. Like,
pick
it's
your
not
battles,
every
innit?
week
That
we're
was
going to get
unjust.
dragged.
And also pick your battles.
Dragging was unjust.
No, but
Why did she get dragged? Tell the people.
She got dragged for
she said in
it was
Nigeria.
during Dirty December, and she basically said that the Nigerian girlies were hating on her because she's high profile, and then she got dragged again on socials, being like, "Who the hell are you? You're not even famous." And it's just, I just want her to just chill out.
I think everyone's just got to take it. Whatever you want to say what you want to say, because it's all the think pieces are going to happen, which happened. Everyone's taking sides. I've got family members who are absolutely devastated and stressed because they're like, can you just leave us alone, please? Can we just enjoy Drake? They're getting very angry, very defensive. I'm like, it's fine. You don't have to like Kendrick. It's all right if you don't like Kendrick. It's okay if you like Drake. Drake isn't down and out. He can come back whenever he wants to. He just needs to bide his time. This moment was a moment in history, cultural moment. It's finished. Kendrick is going to go back into his cave
That's a game
and
over.
hide until he comes back out for his tour. Then he's going to hide again. Kendrick doesn't
hope
just come
so.
out all the time like that.
And he says
I'm
it in
over
his
song
music.
now, though.
He
I
lit-
am over the song.
I mean, it's like you can turn it off as
It's
well.
game over.
It's over.
You know?
Like, but it's like for now. Drake's now apparently at his concert. He changed some lyrics at his concert to say that the beef is not over. So we'll see what he does. But also let him do what he wants to do. He's allowed to. He's had a public flogging. He can do what he wants.
But then also, can Madam Joyce not do what she
Yes,
wants?
I'm not against what
Do
Madam
you know what I
Joyce
mean?
says.
Like, I feel like, because
She's
we're
up to
not a
her.
monolith, like, do you know what I mean? She should be able to express her opinion. If that's what she thinks, she should be. But I do, obviously, personally, I think like we should definitely be standing with our American cousins for sure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I do get like the ignorance in what she was saying. But like, she's entitled to her opinion though as well. And like, but the flogging that she's getting,
It's people
intense.
go in a bit.
But I think
It
this
is
is
a
what
lot.
people
It's
do.
intense.
They overhype, and it's a moment where cause there's she's not the only person who's saying the same thing. So I don't know why people are. And then there's also that piling on a young black girl saying stuff, because that happens a lot in over exaggerated ways. So leave her alone, small. She's not the only person who's saying the same thing. But Kendrick did his thing. I loved it. Levels, layers, deepness.
Loved it.
It is what it is. And also for him being someone who's on a very controversial stage, because the NFL, they removed their end racism
Yeah, they did.
thing on the track. So there's a few controversies and hypocrisies that someone like Kendrick, even performing at the Super Bowl, could be discussed. But he did what he did in a way to, I'm not going to kowtow. I am on this controversial stage and I'm going to do what I need to do.
He's
I'm
not going to
I'm not gonna
sacrifice
do-
himself, which is what
Yeah.
he's partly saying in the music. Like, be true to yourself and what you're representing. I've seen some clapbacks online. One of the ones that made me laugh the most is there was a guy and he said, all those dancers and not one person. Yeah. And then someone said,
white,
nah,
yeah.
they got rid of DEI.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Turns out the black people were the most talented and they were hired on merit. Okay, a bit serious now. My enemy of progress is Donald Trump. Donald Trump, America, UK. I feel like I'm on repeat. All of the politicians and also the King of Jordan. Because in the last week, Donald Trump has been making some outlandish statements about Gaza.
The U.S. would buy Gaza, and today you just said we're not going to buy Gaza.
We're not going to have to buy. We're going to have Gaza. We don't have to buy. There's nothing to buy. We will have Gaza.
What is that?
No reason to buy. There is nothing to buy. It's Gaza. It's a war-torn area. We're going to take it. We're going to hold it. We're going to cherish it. We're going to get it going eventually, where a lot of jobs are going to be created for the people in the Middle East. It's going to be for the people in the Middle East, but I think it can be a diamond. It can be an absolute tremendous asset for the Middle East. And you're going to have peace. It's going to bring peace in the Middle East.
He's been saying that we're going to take over Gaza and we're going to turn it into a Riviera. We're going to build hotels on it. It's a demolition site. You know, there's 1.8 million people in there. We need to move them. They've got nowhere to live. It's inhabitable, like all of these things. And then all the politicians around him were like, no, you can't say this. It's not right. And he doesn't mean it. They tried to reword what he said. He doubled down on it. And now he's coming out and there was a press conference and someone said to him, how are you going to buy Gaza? And he said, I'm not buying it. We're going to take it and no one's going to stop us. Okay? And then he has basically had the King of Jordan go and see him because he's suggesting that the Palestinians in Gaza be relocated to Egypt and to Jordan. So at first, the King of Jordan was very much like, if he tries it, we will fight him. He's gone to see him, and now he's basically head up Trump's ass. So far, I'm surprised he can see the light of day. And he's now saying that we need to find a way that this can work for everybody involved. That's what he's saying. He's talking like there's nobody there and it's not at people's homes. What makes you king of the world that you can say that? He's cut ties with the ICC. He says he doesn't recognise it anymore. He's putting sanctions on all of these people who are opposed to him. He's also come out and said that if Hamas do not provide the rest of the hostages this Saturday, he's going to rain hellfire in Gaza. And he said no one's going to be able to stop him. The only person that can oppose him is the Israeli government. But he's saying they need to do this now, even though, and I need to find the stats for this, the Israeli government have failed to meet their end of the bargain on quite a few points, which is why this whole hostage pause is kind of happening. In the agreement, the first part of the ceasefire agreement, 600 aid trucks are supposed to enter Gaza, and that's supposed to be daily, right? So only 70% have made it through. 200,000 tents were supposed to be given, only 10% have been allowed. They shot a pregnant mother who was 8 months pregnant. Her and her child died. It's not stopped. So for him to say if they don't cooperate, like they're just doing it for fun, and I'm not here supporting any of these people, but we're supposed to be in a ceasefire. And during a ceasefire, both parties are supposed to comply with what's been put on the table.
Yeah, there's terms and conditions.
There's terms and conditions. So he's in the bin, as usual. He just lives there now. Him and his,
Cronies.
crazy cronies.
I always think it's a bit too easy to say that they're crazy.
Yeah,
Because
you're right.
Trump always has a plan, and he was inaugurated on the 21st of January. It's not even Valentine's Day yet.
I mean,
Yeah, it's not even a
not
month.
even a
A
month.
lot has happened.
But I think what he's very, very good at is he just throws a lot of information at people and overwhelms the American people almost with all this information. So no one really knows which bit of what he's doing they should concentrate on, because you've got tariffs, you've got fines, you've got the DEI stuff, you've got Gaza, you've got Ukraine, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And that's what he just keeps doing. I mean, my phone goes crazy with notifications from all like the news networks every time he says something that they deem to be outlandish all over again. And that's the way that he does it, is he overwhelms people with all these announcements, so no one really knows what's going on and where it's going to end. There are some things that he does where you know, he'll announce something where the negotiations have already been going on. So when the negotiations end up in the direction he has foreseen that it was always going to go, and it makes him look like the hero. But I think sort of talking about him as, you know, making all these sort of crazy decisions in terms of his America First plan, it will always be a very clever plan that works in his mind for the American people or the Americans who voted for him. And the impact it has on the rest of the world we'll have to see. But in terms of the sheer weight of information he's thrown at people since the 21st of January, I think is unlike anything we have ever known.
He didn't
the
even do that
following
his
4
first
weeks
term.
after a president has been inaugurated. This has never happened
You're
before.
absolutely right.
No, not even
much.
his time.
Exactly. He
It
didn't
hasn't
even
been
do it.
like that. He's outdone himself this time. Is actually
I think you've
phenomenal.
hit the nail on the head. He's just putting so much information out there. People don't know what to focus
You
on.
don't know, which in terms of those who voted for him and the American people themselves, they don't know what to focus on, which bit is going to be good for us, which bit isn't, because there is just too much. And he will always have an end game, and we just don't know what that end game is, who that end game will affect in a positive way or a negative way. Because of who he is and the way that he has structured his team and the way that he's structured the people around him, the way that he is looking at the media over there and decisions that they are making. It's really interesting because the end game will be unlike anything we've ever seen before.
It'll be a third term.
Yeah,
But
that's what it's
probably,
leading
but for
towards.
Gaza, it's like, even if they, you know, release the hostages on Saturday, there will be another caveat to we are going to rain hell. They want to obliterate the
He
people.
sent them
This is it.
15.5 billion or something like that. It's been signed off.
I don't know how we get a true ceasefire and peace and reconciliation without there being an all-out world war. Honestly, I can't see how that happens.
It seems like that's what they're stoking. And for me, it's like, what I keep seeing is that Trump and Netanyahu, I don't know I can't remember the name of the guy who runs Palestine, but it's like, how can you have a two-sided conversation? There's three, like even Trump, you shouldn't even be in the conversation anyway. Yeah. But you're two people having a conversation and leaving the third, a very important person out. It doesn't make any sense. How are you not making decisions? I described it as like your parents speaking over your head and you're looking up at them.
Well, that's colonialism.
Yeah,
that is
exactly.
literally it. You are. These people just need to be
Talking about-
moved out, and then we're going to rebuild this place, and
but
they
you
can
can't
have
come
pretty
back.
houses elsewhere.
But you
Pretty
can't come
houses.
back. That's
Yes.
what he's saying as well. Like, it's easy to move out 1.8 million people, is what he's saying. It's a small number, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Then when they're questioning him and saying, do they have the right to return? No, they don't. You know, they don't need to go back. But it's going to be great for the people in the Middle East. We're going to provide so many jobs for the people in the Middle East. But what about the people that are already there? What about those people?
I just think like it's this is basically what the British done, isn't it?
Absolutely.
In the first place, we're just seeing it in real time. It's just exactly the same thing. So I just don't think that. I don't know. I think we need to brace ourselves in a sense of like, this is not going to have a favourable outcome. I don't even think we're probably even going to get to World War III. I think they're just going to do what they're doing and get away with it. Do you know what I mean?
I think one thing that he is right about is how Gaza can be rebuilt. You know, a lot of people's homes are uninhabitable. Yeah. And it's a huge construction job in order to be able to rebuild the houses for the hundreds of thousands, you know, 1.8, almost 2 million people who live there. So what he has done by saying something outlandish is to put into the public consciousness that the fact that it is a huge rebuilding process. Whether it's done the way that he has suggested or it's done internally, it is a huge rebuilding process. You've got to rebuild hospitals, schools,
Everything.
Absolutely everything. And that takes time and that takes money. So what he has done is he has started that, sparked a conversation where people realise, actually, when an area is completely destroyed by war, what do we do to be able to make people's homes again?
I mean, what's disgusting about that though is no one is speaking to the people that live there.
That's the part.
That's the part that's heartbreaking for me, and it's sad. not anybody is speaking to the people that live there. You still cannot get Western media to go and actually see for themselves. It's all coming out of Gaza from the people, the journalists that are there. They're still not able to, Western media are still not allowed to go in there for them, see for themselves, and have like an actual idea from the people, hear it from them, what they want to do. Because my social media is flooded with people saying, we will rebuild. I've seen so many videos of people just piling out the rubble, wanting to rebuild. They want to stay on their land. They don't want to leave.
People will rebuild. Like the people who are displaced will always find a way to rebuild. So it's not for Netanyahu and Trump to make that decision for them. They can do it. They don't. Yes, outside aid and stuff like that and support, but the people will always rebuild. So who are you telling that they need to go elsewhere and then we'll handle it? And I just wanted to correct that. Is Mahmoud Abbas is the president of the state of Palestine. Just so his
and
name
how
doesn't
about
get
you
hurt.
allow the people that are there to be free so that they can decide what they do
want.
for themselves? How about you allow that? How about you stop having what's the word I'm looking for? Restrictions on air, land and sea. How about you do that? Because the idea, the rhetoric that every single person in there is a threat is nonsense. We know that. It's an apartheid system. We know that. How about you let some people be free and to rebuild their country? Exactly. How about you do that? No one's talking about a two-state solution anymore. He's also been asked about the West Bank and it being separated. And he's like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. That's a good idea.
Sure. What do?
They're just playing about.
Yeah.
They're taking the piss. Honestly,
Like these people don't have rights.
Why do we know why like all these countries are so threatened by American aid? Like I just don't get it.
Right.
Like America's in debt. Like
I don't
what money
understand
are
how
you-
it all
pretend
works
money.
in general.
It's also it's soft power.
Yeah.
So I think, and I believe that in terms of the whole of the American budget, the US aid budget is only worth about 1%. So it is a drop in the ocean of all the money that America spends. It's like tiny, but it is also about soft power. I do this for you in the future. I can count on you doing this for me. And that's why the worry is that by getting rid of US aid, the impact it then has on the influence of China, because China has the money to be able to give foreign aid if they choose to.
Yeah.
So in terms of doing favours, it'll be favours to China as opposed to favours to America. But, that's been happening, across Africa with loans anyway.
Yeah,
when it comes to
in Caribbean
building
as
roads
well.
and in the Caribbean. But the money that comes from foreign aid is huge. And so that's what the real worry about the aid situation is really. And also it gives real big splashy headlines in America. We are getting rid of, it's about America first.
Yeah.
We're not going to give all this money to all these people that don't live here.
Brexit, right?
Blah, blah, blah. Without explaining, it's a tiny, it's literally a drop in the ocean. So it doesn't actually really, that is not going to make their lives any better. But that's what a good PR move is people think, oh, well, as long as we're not sending money to all of those other people, it means that my life will be better.
Yeah.
So you just keep making them think that.
Someone said it really well. They were like, you still can't buy eggs, It's not like, this is not the problem.
Yeah.
You still cannot buy eggs and it's not the aid.
It makes you feel better though. And that's the plaster that they're doing. But also I was seeing that lots of different farmers were now coming out and being like, listen, our businesses will go bust.
Yeah.
Because if you stop that, we actually supply food to various places around the world and we get our funding from you guys, the government, and you've cut that.
Yeah.
So how am I going to run my farm? They were out here voting for Trump as well. I have no sympathy for any of the Americans now that are coming out and being like, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing this to me. What did you think he was going to do? Really?
He's a good PR man.
Oh, but they're stupid.
No, well, I don't think that we can sort of say that everybody that voted for him is stupid. I just think when you can't afford eggs, and it's like, there has to be another way. Because, my sister's in Miami, and when I went to go do some grocery shopping, and I walked into the shop and they keep their eggs in the fridge. And I was like, that's just bizarre.
They do.
And secondly, it was like a tray of, I think it was like 6 eggs, and it worked out probably about £1.20 an egg.
Yeah. Because I was seeing it was standardly like $10 now for eggs.
It's
crazy.
And I was like, but it's just come from chickens.
Yeah.
And chickens aren't expensive. So I don't understand why why it's so much more expensive to buy eggs there than it would be to buy eggs here. So when you think about someone who's running a household, they've got kids, they're trying to get food in, they can't afford the basics like eggs, they're sitting there thinking there's got to be another way. And, you know, that has been under a government that has been Biden.
Yeah.
So when, even on a basic level, when you're like, let me just see if something else works. And you've got someone like Trump going, America first, I will make your lives better. America first means that we'll all be able to he doesn't necessarily have to make it true, but he can just say it. And then suddenly someone sat there going, well, I can barely afford to feed my kids, so let's see if he can do better.
Yeah. And I do think that a lot of people, even like in this country, no one really reads everything that they're promising. It's sound bites, isn't it? If you're not someone who's going to sit back and actually read, okay, this is his manifesto, whatever the American equivalent is of the promises that they're making to do when they come into power, and you're just watching news and you're being fed shit on Fox or whatever it might be, and you're just getting the sound bites, if you're someone who's struggling, I can see, I mean, I'm never going to do it, but I can see how someone's going to be like,
I still frame that under the guise of stupidity.
No, do you know what I mean? Because you're putting the cost of eggs above having rights. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's insane. It's insane.
On a basic level. Like,
no, but yeah, but how basic?
But if you were someone that's from a poorer part of the States, you can barely remember, the healthcare is different from here. Everything is so different. So when we're talking struggling in a way that mum's currently got cancer, mum can't afford to get chemo because mum doesn't have a job and therefore doesn't have health insurance. Therefore, and one person, so they've got one income, and it means that the other person can't then do the shop. So you're literally sitting there and you're struggling. Why do they care about rights? They just want to be able to treat mum give mum some treatment, get some eggs on the table so they can have some breakfast in the morning. When it comes down to, I think, individuals struggling, it becomes very individualistic. So I just want my family and my home to be. I'm not saying it's right.
No. I hear what you're saying, but it's just like, you know, they work. Not everybody, obviously, and people watch different news outlets or get their news on different social media platforms. So their algorithms are different. But he basically said he was going to get rid of Medicaid, for example. Like, do you know what I mean? Obamacare, whatever. And that's what he's done. That's what he's done. So that, you know, that mother who's suffering from cancer, who voted for Trump, she voted against her own well-being. Like, but to bring down the price of eggs because it said America first, which goes to their inherited racism. That's what it is. I want to be, I don't want to lose my power. So let me vote for the man that's telling me that my power is going to stay here. That's what they've done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's also a fair proportion of minorities who also voted.
Yeah, they were in there.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. What was it? 96% of black women, 88% of black men did not vote for Trump. We need to be absolutely clear.
Yeah, and that 110%, that is absolutely true. But I also think that I think it's difficult for us as Brits to understand what it's like to live in an environment where you don't have impartial media. Yeah. So when you are living in the States and they are bombarding,
they really are,
and they do campaigns
with one point of view.
They really are.
Entire news networks that are just one point of view. You've got, and the news networks that don't have one point of view, those other networks will say, well, what they're saying is not true. They're rubbish, they're awful, don't watch them. Which is why a lot of their viewing figures have started to fall drastically. And it's who shouts loudest wins.
Yeah.
And we have a very different system here. And I think it's very difficult for us to understand what it's like when you have a huge news networks in the States that only give one point of view.
Yeah.
And as a result, if that's all that Betty has on in the background, that's all Betty will believe.
Telling you.
Incredible how persuasive that can be.
I get
Fox
it.
News, or not even just Fox, American news channels are wild. Whenever I've gone, or even like when I'm in Grenada, that's kind of like the channels they've got. And I'm just like, what are these people talking about? Like, they're literally feeding them a bag of nonsense. That's why people don't know anything about outside of America. Like, they don't really even know where countries are and what, you know.
America's central. Because I've got. I mean, not to stay on this too long. We must move on. But I've got family members back home who are like, yeah, go Trump. They're seeing the shiny stuff. It's reaching out, and especially if you're not affected by it over here, it's very easy to say that. I don't feel sorry for them either, because it is what it is. but I understand how people have been turned.
Amanda Seales, we love her,
We do.
but she has, I'm just calling a spade a spade. She's been fuckeries to Issa Rae.
Okay, so because I was confused where you were going with this. But
Okay.
okay. Now I understand.
She's been fuckeries to Issa Rae. I was...
It's like, what's going on?
No, but literally, because in the doc, full disclosure, in the doc, I was like, so who's she saying the enemy? Because
It's Amanda Seales is the enemy. She is the enemy. I was on her live watching her and it was going fine. There was nothing special about this live. She does her thing. I love her news. And then she was like, all right, guys, I'm going to give you some tea. I'm going to tell you about the time where I was like, I'm cutting Issa Rae off for good now. We're all there in the chat like, what's going on? And the reason why she cut Issa Rae off, this is her
As we
words.
start talking about the new show that come out, Issa started reading a review of the show out loud to the group, okay? She's reading the show out loud to the group. So we're all sitting there listening and we're all commenting and involved in the commentary and in the conversation. Everybody as a group is talking. And when I say everybody, I mean the cast members. We're all chit-chatting about it, okay? Together, all of us together. And she fell off from the conversation because she was reading the rest of the article to herself. So then she, I guess when she was done reading, she said, oh, yeah, it ends with da-da-da-da-da. And I asked, oh, well, did they mention da-da-da-da-da? And she said, why don't you just read it yourself? And that was the last day. Because I had taken so much stankness and weirdness for the past 5 seasons, and it was the last season, and I just said, you know what? I don't got to take this no more.
That was the mic drop moment, apparently, for Amanda Seales. She was like, that was out of order. I was being bullied, and I decided I'm not going to take this anymore. I call bullshit on this. I think Amanda Seales, you're picking on her now. Literally, no, it was like, no, you're using her name for clout. You've lost your job. You want people to come and watch you on YouTube. And it just felt very insensitive to Issa Rae, and it wasn't the dramatic kind of thing that you would think somebody is going to now be like, I'm not talking to somebody who has provided me with employment for years. I was like, nah, I'm calling bullshit on Amanda Seales. And I like her, still follow her. She may hate me now, but I have to call it out because she's had Welcome to the Family bare times. And this felt like in Black History Month in America, this wasn't the time to pull down a black woman. What say ye?
I'm really confused. So she just said, read the newspaper for yourself.
Yeah, and that
Apparently
was
she said it a bit spicy, and apparently they all like kind of squared up on each other. And
no, that's another.
That's a
another
different
time.
situation.
Yeah, that's another.
Not the
situation.
same. I thought it was
not
on
the
the back
same.
of.
Not the same time.
Oh,
That
the way
ended
that's being
there.
reported as if they. Okay.
No, that was another time previously that they did have a little square up previously.
But they
not
squashed that, and they
day.
squashed that moment
Yes,
as well.
Not that day.
So she said like there's been a build up of, but I also think like, why are you doing it now?
Yeah, it just feels like petty.
Yeah, it feels petty.
Childish. Just like,
That's the sentiment.
yeah.
I feel like that too.
I'm never going to agree with you when you say stuff like that about cousin Amanda. Because Amanda is my cousin. Just putting it out there. I know you are. I think that Issa, it sounded like to me, because I didn't follow the live, I started it and I can't remember what happened, I started watching it. But it felt, when I read the reports and everything, it felt like to me like she was saying that was the cherry on top of the cake. It wasn't like this one moment and then she was like, I hate you. It felt, from what Amanda was saying, Issa had been doing things and they're all in there having comments and people are commenting and people are asking Issa about the review of this program that she's looking into, and she's feeding people, she's answering the other people about their comments. But with Amanda, she was like, read it yourself. It didn't seem to me so much like, oh, you could just read it yourself. Here's the article. Why don't you read it yourself? It wasn't like that. It felt like, from what Amanda was saying, this was another example of her singling me out and treating me differently to how she's treating everybody else. She said at that point she had had enough. So she said something to her. She said to her, and I quote, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? She said that to her. So I get it.
No,
If
she
you're
didn't say that on the live.
Oh, okay. In the bit that I've read, where the description of it, that's what she says in the description. So
Okay.
maybe she didn't repeat it on the live. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you're in your workplace and your boss is treating you some type of way and you can notice that you're being treated different to man next door, eventually it's going to get to you. And I feel like that's what happened.
I think you've given her lots of extras, but go on, carry on.
I mean, you gave Issa the story. You did poor Issa. Poor Issa. She's being picked on and bullied and used for clout.
I mean, okay, right. It's a difficult one because I do like Amanda. I do also like Issa as well. I love what she's done, created, contributed to culture and everything like that. Absolutely. The things that I thought were interesting was Amanda saying like, as being your elder, you shouldn't come at me like that, and as your employee. And I'm just like, okay, so there's a lot of built up stuff here.
Yes.
Like, do you know what I mean? As your elder, bro.
I mean, that was about 3 years.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
3 years.
Reduce it all the way down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was just like,
relax.
Please, Amanda. And I didn't like, obviously, because Issa's film, what's it called?
One of Them Days.
One of Them Days has just been released as well. So the timing is a bit sus.
Clouty.
It's a bit sus, but I do think this is typical Amanda, though. Do you know what I mean? When something is on her mind, she needs to get off her chest, and she does. Like, it's not. I don't think this would have been on her any life at any time.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? And she has been drip feeding bits about, you know, the Issa Amanda story for the last couple of months. Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, this is not new behavior from Amanda to me. Do you know what I mean? I do think that she felt definitely her perception was that she was in a hostile environment in the workplace. I believe that she believes that. I honestly do.
Me too.
I really do. So, like, you know, that's her perception. That's her reality. That's how she sees it. Her and Issa probably need to do some work to resolve that, to see if they're, you know, if they're on the same page. Issa,
I think it's more like, I hate that bitch and she
and
hate
the
me.
rest of them don't seem to like her. They don't, or it doesn't seem to come across like that. But they do have, which I've mentioned before. Everybody else has a code of silence, which is very interesting.
It's strange.
It's very interesting.
I think Amanda is spicy to work with. I think there's two stories and two sides to the story, and Issa hadn't spoken. Apart from that, when she had that interview the other day, and she kind of made a comment like, you know, she's not going to work with anyone that goes on pods or speaks about her. Fair's fair. I've seen comments saying that Issa's a bit difficult to work with, but we've also seen that Amanda's difficult to work with. So in all of this, I think it's a two-sided story.
Yes.
I didn't think that Amanda, I mean, if you're saying this is how she is, this is how she is, and maybe this is how she needs to get things off her chest, but I think this has been long enough now, and it did feel like, come over here, going to get some more numbers, more views, and this is the tea, and the tea was weak, and I feel like we know you do and Issa do not speak anymore. Enough is enough. Move on. There's so much that.
No, I agree.
Yeah, there's so
And
much
Issa
more you
isn't
have to offer.
talking about her.
Yeah.
And I just think that, you know, are you serious about your craft? You don't get on with everybody that you work with in the workplace, but if you're serious about your craft and you're serious about elevating your career and that kind of thing, doing this is not going to help with that. And you may not get on with Issa, but the reality is the work that she's done in the culture is undeniably brilliant.
Yeah.
In terms of the people that she's employed, the opportunities that she's given to others, the way she's elevated other Black women, other Black actresses within her space and lifted them up. I feel a bit uncomfortable when that's the person that they go for. And I know that we shouldn't have like a code of silence if somebody has worked.
That's why I'm
has
smirking.
had bad behaviour.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we should do that either.
No.
But you can have men who disagree with each other in the workplace and men who work their way up to a particular point. Other men don't behave like this. They don't bring it out into a public space, and that's how they keep making money, and that's how they keep rising.
That's fair.
And I think that if you're in a professional environment and you are also wanting, you can say what you like behind closed doors, what have you, say what you like. But when there are so few of us doing what Issa's doing, we have to look at why men rise in the way that they do, and sometimes women struggle to rise in a very similar way within that industry if we've got a woman tearing to shreds another woman on a public forum. And men don't really do that.
I was going to just add to that. I think then as well, if Issa's done something that's very, very bad, and maybe this is the result, this is, by the way, Issa is not a nice person to work with because she does A, B, C, D. There seems to be no resolve or resolution to what Amanda's saying. It's just, I'm calling her out. And she's and I don't know to what end. Is it so that we're all aware and we don't buy into what Issa's selling, or is it to, you know, we want to expose what's going on in Hollywood and the bad apples and get them out because they shouldn't be, you know, like what's happening with some of the rappers. You know what I'm saying? So to what end is this news being revealed? I don't think it should be hidden, but I think Amanda has a right to speak on her truth as well. If it's her truth, she could right to speak on it. But to what end is this out there for us to know?
It may just be like, just don't hold anyone in that icon status, isn't it? Like
is that what she's saying? Is it clear? That's what I'm saying.
It may be. This is just my assumption of it. Like, because I think, like you mentioned about the rappers and all of these people, we've held them up so high only to find out later that they're not flawless. In fact, some of them are quite fuckery. So maybe she's saying, I'm not alone. And there are a bunch of people that from Insecure that she does still speak to. There's a set of them that seem to align with each other and not so much with the wider cast. So she is still friendly with some of them, and maybe there's a reason for that. We don't know.
But also, if it's like, she has to be really careful it doesn't err towards you're whining because you don't like your boss. Did she bully you? Is there like tangible stuff that you can say? She was throwing objects at my head when I got things wrong. She was screaming in my face. She was which to hear that about someone is awful. I mean, that's like tangible. That is abuse in the workplace. That's making a really. So when it's she wasn't very nice to me, it's a bit like, yeah, but everybody's boss can be like.
I think it's that. If you're going to share a story, you do need a catalogue. And the little bits that she's given, even when we were discussing the publicist and her being like, Issa should have defended me. Again, you don't have a whole set of Issa did this to me at this part. It sounds like Amanda wanted something from Issa, maybe some type of favoritism. Maybe she thought that Issa should have like really looked after her and Issa didn't. And now I want to blacken her reputation.
Because she's older than her.
And you know, it's like, come on, there's 3 years difference. To even say she should have treated me better because I'm her elder, I was like, Amanda, please. Like, we've been out here on the internet defending you, girl, and now I'm there like, oh my God, this woman, she is a liability. Like, I actually do, when people say Amanda Seales can't take accountability, I think she needs to sit with that. She actually does need to lament on that for a minute. She is in her 40s and she is a bigger woman and people do respect her. I need Amanda to really sit down and think, what does accountability look like?
That's fair. But
I think so.
I think everyone does in this scenario.
I mean, everyone in life.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Anyway, okay, because we're running out of time. Let me talk about my enemy of progress. Kanye.
Oh,
Yeah.
How many times did I call your name, Kanye? Honestly, it's enough. It is enough. Kanye has hot off the Grammy red carpet with his naked wife. He went on X. What I can only call it a tirade. Is that what you call it? Like a tirade that he went on X, basically spouting anti-Semitism, anti-blackness, misogyny, anti everything. Yes, absolutely anti everything. It was a lot.
Everybody got it. To be fair.
Everybody got it.
This is not.
I'm not defending
Okay, hold on.
I hear you.
No. Everyone, calm down. First of all, let me say what I'm saying because I can see the passion coming. I don't understand.
I'm just saying.
You're not the only one here.
I said one thing. It wasn't going to be a sentence. It was literally just everybody got it.
You know,
that was it.
Okay, cool. Let's wait for your turn. No. Okay, so in no particular order, I'm going to say some things. Now you might need to bleep some stuff out, okay? But this is what he said on X, yeah, the cesspool social media platform.
Yes.
He said, "I am a Nazi." He said, "Let's see if y'all give that money back." He said, "I love Hitler." Now what, bitches? He did. He said, I can say Jew as many times as I can say Hitler, as much as I want. Matter of fact, when I do say it, I say it when I want. Yeah? He also said, I don't take photos except for when I take photos. Just nonsense. He said, I turned down 3 photos this week with Make-A-Wish kids in wheelchairs. He said, fuck Virgil.
Yes, he did.
He said, I paid niggas and bitches to laugh at my jokes. He said, sorry, he's just unhinged. He also said, what else did he say? He said, I don't even know what I don't even know what the fuck anti-Semitic means. It's just some bullshit Jewish people made up to protect their bullshit. That's what it is. He says, my support of Puff is completely selfish. I need to find whoever is trying to out these black moguls. He also said, fuck all this woke shit. They are putting fat bitches on the runway. Nobody want to see that shit. It's unhealthy. It promotes obesity. He goes on to say, and the wild shit is that if fat bitches lose weight, then they lose their I don't know what else he was going to say there, except for Adele. Because she really has enough of talent. And sorry, let me be serious. Has another talent, but she's being used for porn as for political agendas. He also said, I'm never apologizing for my Jewish comments. I can say what the fuck I want and I'll say forever. Where's my fucking apology for freezing my accounts? Suck my dick.
Oh.
How's that for an apology? He said slavery is a choice. He said it again.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, all of these are on caps. So say.
I was gonna say
exactly.
everything.
He just stressed that he's shouting. In addition to what I can only describe as a despicable act, he then decided to make a replica of the hoodie that Cassie was wearing in the video where Diddy was beating her in the hotel hall, which is absolutely heinous. Can we just
He also
agree?
did a T-shirt with a very bad symbol.
Yeah.
Can we agree? Yeah.
Yes.
That there's no excuse for this behaviour, that this cannot be down to bipolar, it cannot be down to his new thing, autism now, that he gets no passes for this tirade. Can we agree on that?
I agree.
I'm not sure he got passes for the other.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He never get, but I think I'm not going to get into any of what he said because it's pointless. We all know it's wrong. There's nothing to justify that. What I don't personally understand is how people keep buying his stuff.
Same reason why people go to McDonald's.
But then I think when it comes to things like McDonald's, people may be like, this is in black and white, and that's the bit that I don't get. How people who choose to buy his stuff make that choice knowing the things that he said in real time. I don't understand those people.
They don't care.
It's the same people that buy Tesla. Like, the stuff that he's saying is just disgusting. I'm not even going to sit and act like it ain't. It's obviously disgusting, right? But then he's saying it on a platform owned by a man who stood in an inauguration and made a particular salute and then said, that's not what I did.
But what I mean is people have dissected that and they said, yes, but it could have been this. It could have been that. The thing with this, it's nothing other than what he said.
Everything he said is in plain sight. Everything he said. The other guy is doing it in plain sight and lying about it.
But let's just
it's on the people that are going to buy things.
We're talking about
They are both disgusting, and people need to just recognise that these people are just in it for themselves, and they've got to the point where they think that they're so powerful that they can say what. That's why this is my point, and that's why I was talking about the other guy. They think that they've got to the point where they can say what they want and they don't care about what anybody else thinks. They can say all these depraved things about all types of people and no one gives a shit because they're so powerful and they have so much money and what are you going to take from me? They're at that point in their lives where they feel like, I don't actually need you anymore. I don't need to be liked. I'm going to say what I want.
I partially agree with what you're saying, but I think that is such a small part of Kanye's story. Kanye, whatever he's doing, away with the fairies, him. And he's been like that for years now.
Since his mum
We've
died.
lost Kanye. Kanye's gone. He's yay now anyway. it's the human beings that walk among us that you think are normal, that think that this is okay and will wear Cassie's hoodie. Those folks. And that's what, to me, when Kanye does these exposés on humanity, I'm like, there they are.
There they are.
You see the people that are going there, and then he'll put the figures out that 20,000 people went and bought that T-shirt. That's the exposure. We have some sick humans that dwell amongst us, and I would prefer that they keep on coming out, that we can keep on seeing who they are, that they expose themselves, and we can be like, yeah, there you are. You're the devil walking among us.
So again, it's
not he's a prophet. He too is a devil, and he signals out to devils.
So what have we been saying? It's like a calling card, not calling card. It's a
bat signal.
A dog whistle. Thank you very much. It's a dog whistle.
Look how long he was chatting shit for before he removed himself or X removed him. Look how long that was going on for. Look at what is on X.
Correct.
That people dwell on that space and thrive on there and will be like, oh, I'm going to support this man because he's a billionaire. To support somebody because they are a billionaire, they've exploited millions of people. Yeah. They are heinous. But this is humanity.
He's going to be back. He's definitely going to be back on X.
Of course he will.
I think this is just, I don't know. I think Elon must have just been like, oh, Kanye, my hands are kind of tied, but you're black, so gotta go.
That's it. That part. You're an easy one to do.
Do you know what I mean?
Don't like you anyway.
Yeah. That's how I see it. But like he's a problematic black man with a platform. Yes.
4 hours. 4 hours he was tweeting ferociously for. Every so often I was going and looking. I was like, right, he's still at it.
I got to the point where I was just like, no, I can't.
I mean, I just can't. I never even got there.
I just can't.
Yeah, I just didn't bother to look.
I just don't bother. It's like there's so much that's going on in the world. I refuse to have my brain be filled with that level of depravity.
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it. So I don't engage in it whatsoever because I refuse to let him impact my brain or my life.
I think that part I ignored.
That's fair.
Mostly ignored. And I think there is that thing about, yes, society is buying stuff, but people can disconnect from the crazy person on social media. There's a big divide between that person and, oh, this top looks nice, or I'm going to be controversial. And everything's been turned into a fad or a commercial. So that human connection to what's being sold by the crazy person or the alleged crazy person. And even if it's the most worst thing, throughout time, people want to be the edgy person in the room and want to be like, I'm going to wear Cassie's hoodie. I'm making a statement. There's probably someone that's probably an advocate for women and domestic violence who will get Cassie's hoodie and say, I'm wearing it as a political statement. Someone will find a way to make it suit their narrative.
Of course.
And that's just a part. But I don't know, it seems like it's not just about society. Kanye too, yes, product, but it's like he's whatabouted slightly because we've come down on someone before harder for their bad behavior, but it seems like it's more like he's just a part of society and it is what it is. He's a devil, but so it's society's fault. But he's also, is he sick? And should everyone put him back?
I think,
or is he literally also needs to be like, no, Kanye, enough is enough now. You're just saying wild shit for the sake of it, and you need to be held accountable properly. Like really properly.
What would your accountability be called?
What are they going to do? That's my point. He can't be held accountable at all. And like he's turned into the monster because the people have supported him, to be honest. Like whether that's financially, whether that's like, oh, he's a truth teller, he's this, he's that, and the other. He's been on this trajectory. He's been on.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
What is accountability?
I don't know.
Because people keep on saying it. It's like, hold Kanye West accountable.
Just condemn it. We've condemned him. That's it. That's accountability.
That's as much as you can do. And ignore him. But as much as you can do.
Him alone, Kanye, say it.
You got him where it hurts, isn't it?
His
so
pocket.
It's not just his products, it's his music as well.
Everything.
It's a blackout. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But this is what I mean about when you boycott certain products and you boycott certain things. There is I can't think of the fucking word. My brain's gone blank. But there is a point to all of this. You hit them in their pockets because it does affect them. You can be out here saying, "Oh, what you're saying is wrong. What you're saying is wrong." If they're still being paid, they don't care. Yeah. Do you think these people actually care if they're making money?
You know, you could use fast fashion and sweatshops and stuff as an example. People know what's happening. Because it has been revealed several times in the past of what happens in mass factories for certain companies where fast fashion is concerned. but people still order those clothes and they'll still wear those clothes because it's cheap.
It's
Yeah.
Like, oh,
That's hard.
I know it's not good, but. And so I think there is that. I think you're right in terms of a disconnect, that people can have a disconnect between the reality of something, but simply wanting the product.
Definitely.
Guys,
That's Kanye.
that's a bit of a heavy one still. That's our show. Keep safe and enemy free. I know, I forgot to actually, first of all, sorry. Thank you to our guest. It's over. Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got more with you.
No, we've got more.
We've got more, but
doing
this
a
part is over.
intense question.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Special.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been
Part one.
wonderful.
That's it.
Yeah.
Lovely, Auntie
Thank you for
Charlene.
coming.
Very good.
I love it when people
feel
are
so
like, "Is it finished already?" That's
I know,
good.
that we're having a
So
good time. Now it's time. That's our show. Keep safe and enemy free. Lots of love, hugs, and good vibes from your favourite.
Aunties.
It looked like you sang.
Yeah.
I love that. Just do that.